give them something interesting and tangible to hang things that they see in textbooks that might not be so vivid. They're going to have a totally different trajectory in relating to all of the history lessons that they get from then on.
But first, we illuminate an art form that makes a modern city glow.
From a very young age, I really like looking at a neon tube, especially tubes where you can actually look at the discharge. Because what you're looking at is you're looking at plasma. You're basically looking at fire inside the tube. And so it's kind of exciting in a very primal level.
The University of Southern California.
33,000 students from 115 countries.
And home to one of America's leading journalism schools presents
Impact,
a student-produced series from USC's Annenberg School for Communication and Journalism.
This is Impact.
Since 1929, the USC School of Cinematic Arts has fueled and mirrored the growth of entertainment as an industry and an art form. The school offers comprehensive programs in animation and digital arts, critical studies, directing, producing, interactive media, production, and writing, all backed by a broad liberal arts education in each field.
CU at USC is brought to you by the University of Southern California's School of Cinematic Arts.
Coming up next on CU at USC, we have Gretchen Christine Rossi right here in our very own studio. She's one of the Real Housewives of Orange County. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Back to CU at USC, the best college talk show on television. I am your host, Megan Tellis, and you're watching Tuesday Nights with Tellis. Tonight, I am more than honored to let you all know that we have Gretchen Christine Rossi in the house. If you missed the introduction, then let me tell you, she's one of the Real Housewives of Orange County. Not only does she have a cosmetic line out, she dropped a single, right?
Yes, I did.
That's
actually,
so exciting.
Yes.
And I think there's a lot of drama going on in the show right now. It's season 6 happening. You and Tamara, I know we don't want to get too much into the show, but let's talk about it in the very beginning. You guys just aren't getting along. You're not, obviously, don't have a good chemistry going on. So what is it about you and Tamara?
You know, we just never seem to get along on camera, and it's really strange because off camera we seem to get along just fine, but on camera we seem to just always butt heads. And I don't know what it is about the dynamic of the camera that creates that between us, but it seems to do it. Makes good TV though, right?
Makes good television. You and I were talking backstage a little bit about reality television in itself and the impact it has on the entertainment industry. And Slade brought up a good point. Slade's here, by the way. It's backstage though. But he talked a little bit about, you know, are reality TV stars overpaid? And I think that's a really interesting question because it goes into the whole dynamic of what does reality television bring to television, and is it important for people to watch, and what is your take on that?
Well, as we were talking about backstage, it's a very multifaceted question there. However, first and foremost, are reality stars overpaid? Absolutely not. I mean, if you ask my opinion on that, I think we're actually underpaid. I think we give the same amount of entertainment as any actress or any person that's you know, in the entertainment industry. You know, the question that you walk away with is, was the person really entertained in that hour? And if they're sitting there and watching that and they're entertained, then we've done our job. And you know, the thing that really kind of stinks for a lot of us reality stars is that we don't get to walk away from our character at the end of the day. We really still, you know, are attached to that character, and whatever 5% of our lives that they want to show in that segment is what people believe is your reality. And so sometimes that's hard because, you know, you can't always show every aspect of your life, and they're going to tell the story that they want to tell.
Exactly, and you bring up such a good point because a lot of people think that. I mean, you're an actor, you're an actress, you can go home and, oh, I played a really cool bad guy, or I played a really good, like, hero in this film, you know, and they can detach themselves from it. But for you, you're the Gretchen Christine Rossi that everyone sees on television. So how do you handle that, and are you able to separate yourself at all? Through social media or through?
Well, the great news is really we do have social media nowadays. I mean, between my Facebook page and my Twitter and my personal website, GretchenChristine.com, I really get the opportunity to talk one-on-one with my fans and talk one-on-one with the viewers and really give my point of view and allow them to see the Gretchen Christine Rossi that I am, and that you know, maybe the show doesn't always want to portray all aspects of who I am. I'm not saying that I don't mess up or that I don't fail or that I don't make poor decisions, because it is a reality show, and when you do those things, they're going to capture that. However, there's also a lot of other parts about me that are actually really good, and sometimes I think that good TV doesn't always capture that. My example I always use is, you and I could sit here for literally, you know, 2 hours, and we could have a totally normal conversation and not get in a fight and be like this, and then let's say we start talking about something about politics or religion, we get in a very heated conversation. That's what they're going to show.
Because it's better entertainment. Who cares about the you know, idea of you guys getting along? It's when there's heated moments.
Exactly.
Okay, but I guess a question that comes up a lot, maybe in classes or maybe with just everyday people out there, it's like, you know that those bad elements about you are being expressed on television. Why do you still participate in the show?
Well, for me, when I first got involved with the show, it was really it was an opportunity, first of all, that came to me. I didn't go looking for it. I didn't go out searching for it. I didn't want to be the next reality star. You know, there's a lot of people now that, because reality TV, it does allow you to be an instant celebrity. And, you know, that's not what I was ever looking for. The show came to me. They asked me if I wanted to participate. And when, at the time, my late fiance and I sat down to talk about it, we realized that it would be a great business opportunity for me to be able to do things within the fashion and beauty industry that I've always wanted to do. So it was really more about a business decision than it really was about I wanted to be the celebrity or this person on TV or this reality star. And by the way, the celebrity, or you know, whatever you want to call it that comes along with reality, really is a very fleeting thing. I mean, you know, you're on a reality show today and you're gone tomorrow. And a lot of people forget that, and a lot of people realize that if you don't, you know, develop something or make something that really is going to resonate with your viewers or that's going to sustain you through this business, reality is going to come and go. If you're really not talented in any other area, you're going to be yesterday's news.
That's a very good point, and I guess it goes into longevity and how do you find longevity in whatever industry you're trying to get into. Now for you, yes, it's great for your brand, such as your cosmetic line, which there's some products inside, your purse line. It's great for that because you're able to talk about that along with your reality television stardom. Is it as glamorous as you thought it would be, or is it as not so glamorous as you thought?
You know, I don't know if I ever went into it thinking, wow, this is going to be glamorous. I don't think anybody signing up for a reality show, I think you have to have some knowledge that there's going to be scrutiny and judgment because you're putting your life out there for people to have an opinion. However, I definitely didn't know it was going to be as hard as it's been. That's been definitely a reality check for me. You know, especially nowadays with social media, everyone gets to have their own opinion with the blogs that are out there, and everybody writes, you know, what they feel and what they think. And a lot of the times, the blogs are people that are sitting behind a computer anonymously and are writing something nasty about you because they can get away with it. And that part's been hard. I try to really separate myself from it, and I try not to read those things, but of course you have the family members or the friends that go, did you see what this person wrote, or did you see what you know is going on there? So sometimes that aspect of it is hard, but at the end of the day, if you know who you are, you stay grounded in who you are, your family and friends that are around you that support you, that's really what matters at the end of the day.
Would it ever be easier to just not respond to the comments and to not put a blog post, or is that your way to clarify?
Well, when I was speaking about the blog post, I was referring to a lot of the people out there that post blogs, and I don't necessarily always get an opportunity to respond to those.
Right.
However, if I do respond to something on my website or Facebook or Twitter, I like to be able to respond, because I like to be able to let people know, you know what you're saying is not true, or look, this might be out in the press right now, but here's the real story. And I think that's really one of the really beneficial things right now with social media for people in particular that are in the entertainment industry. It's a voice for us, you know what I mean?
It's a voice. It's your way to sift through the crap out there and say, hey, this is really me.
Right.
If you could step back from the reality show just for a few seconds and ask yourself, who is Gretchen Christine Rossi? How would you describe her?
Well, I would say that, well, I've been raised to just be a woman of integrity, first and foremost. I was raised in actually a very strict Christian home. I am a Christian. It's not something that I openly discuss all the time on the show, because it's about me. It's my personal relationship with my Lord. And I think, you know, it really is just, I'm a very outgoing, flamboyant, giving woman, and you know, that loves life. I love life, and I think that the show does capture that at the end of the day, no matter what's thrown my way, no matter what trials or tribulations I'm going through, I'm a survivor, and I get back up, and I, you know, I take care of myself. And you know, a lot of times people thought I was a gold digger the first season, and you know, people thought that I, you know, couldn't take care of myself, or they didn't know that I was a very successful real estate agent before, you know, I got on the show, and everybody thought I was just with Jeff for certain reasons. So it's been interesting to see the show evolve and allow me as who I am evolve, and it's been fun for me.
Speaking of someone who is raised with integrity, and you have a lot of love in your heart and a lot of passion out there, in the last episode it just showed you doing a very special celebration for your parents for their 40th anniversary. And I must say, at that moment I said, I've just become a Gretchen fan.
Aww.
Because I think that is so special. I mean, my parents are here in the audience tonight, and I think and I think it's so special to be able to reach back to your parents and say thank you for everything that they've done for you, and to be able to expose that on national television through all the stuff you've been through. So what was that experience like?
Well, gosh, that was really, really neat for me to be able to do that. When season 6 went into post-production, they sat down with me about what was going on in my life. It was right in the midst of planning that for my parents. And I said, look, I don't care if you film this or not. I'm doing this, and this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to make it big, you know? So if you want to film it, great. If you don't, I don't really care. It was never about the cameras. It was truly about doing something wonderful for my parents. And to be able to do that and put that, how wonderful my parents are out into the atmosphere, and allow everybody to know that, you know, marriages can last for 40 years, and that still does happen. You know, it's very few and far between, but it does happen with a lot of love, a lot of work, and a lot of, you know, loyalty to the other partner. So I think at the end of the day, that was the story that was told, and I think you could just see how much I adore my parents, and it was really my way of saying thank you for everything they had done for me.
I know, and I saw that you had, you know, made that dress for her, and then the ring from your old ring, and I just thought that is so.
You know what? Let me clarify something on that, because there's so many people that said, because when you say the old ring, a lot of people said that, oh my gosh, why would you take that ring and use the stones for your mom's ring? I traded in the ring and got her a brand new ring.
So it wasn't the.
It wasn't the actual stones.
Which didn't really bother me when I heard that, because
a lot of people were bothered on it. It was weird.
Because that wasn't a good. So why would you take something negative?
And they were saying that, and I was thinking it was such a great idea to take stones a ring that was sitting in the back of a drawer doing nothing, that honestly brought a sad memory to me, and say, you know what, I want to turn this into something that's a wonderful memory for somebody else, and especially somebody like my mother that I love and adore. And I knew that my dad, you know, isn't going to go spend the amount of money it would cost to get a brand new ring, because they're just very frugal. And so I saw it as an opportunity to really just turn something that was ugly into something great. Not ugly, but you know what I mean. That was sad.
Yeah, something that was sad in your life, and turn it around and turn them in. I got it. Got you covered.
Okay,
all right, when we get back, we're going to talk about Gretchen Christine's purse line, her cosmetic line, and everything else she's doing in her life. We'll be right back.
We're the Thieves, and you're watching Trojan Vision.
And welcome back to Cu at USC. Once again, the best college talk show on television. You are watching Tuesday Nights with Tellis, and we have Gretchen Christine Rossi in the house. I keep mentioning Gretchen Christine Rossi because I see it right here implemented on her new purse line. Gretchen Christine, talk to me about these purses and why they're so important to young females, to yourself, and to why we should all own one.
Why we should all own one. Well, first of all, I think a lot of people, it was funny because my makeup line was Gretchen Christine, and a lot of people are like, what's Gretchen Christine? And it's my first and middle name, and Rossi was my married name, so I've kind of decided to move away from the Rossi and start with the Gretchen Christine, kind of a new start. And when it came to the purse line, I really just, it really truly was inspired by my fans. What happened was I wore this Versace $3,000 bag on the show, and I got so many emails of girls going, where did you get that bag? I got to get that bag. And then I'd respond and go, oh, it's a Versace. And they'd be like, oh. Like you felt like the, you know, the sadness in the email of the girl being like, I could never afford that. So I started to realize that every woman out there wants to have access to beautiful, high-end fashion, but at an affordable price. And especially when I started to develop this, it was during the time that we were really struggling, you know, economically. And I thought, you know what, I really want to make something that's, you know, an all-leather, high-quality bag for the 2010, at the time it was 2010, 2010 woman, you know, that was functional yet beautiful. So what was different about my bags in particular is that first of all, I wanted to have this inside flap here where you could actually store all of your makeup.
That is wonderful.
So
and it even
of course,
has a
you know, yes, and it has a little mirror in there as well. But of course, I have all of the, you know, Gretchen Christine makeup in here. But I really wanted it to be something that was easy to get in your purse and be able to grab your compact easily or grab your lipstick easily, because how many times are you in your purse like digging for something?
Right now, it just happened. I'm in my backpack. Yeah. I'm still student today.
Right, backpack.
But it would be nice if I could have that. No, because you always
nice
lose it at the bottom.
Yes.
And you have like, where's my mascara? Where's my lip gloss?
Yes. And the reason for the flap is because I think sometimes makeup opens up in the bag and it gets all over your bag and it ruins the nice lining of your bag. So that was the reason for the flap. I made outside pockets on every single one of my bag, because how many times do we always want our cell phone and our keys? And so I wanted it to be very accessible right against the person so that you could easily grab it. And then on the front here, there's actually a little hidden pocket here. And it's nice because I can't tell you how many times I go to the nail salon. I want to take off my ring and I don't want to lose it, so I stick it in my hidden pocket up here, or anything that's private or personal, or a valet ticket or something that you always lose.
Especially here in LA, it's like you go park,
or parking ticket or whatever parking structure ticket. So there was little details like that that I did. This is actually from my pearlized collection. I also have a woven collection that has a lot of the same features to it as well, especially that inside flap for the makeup. So,
what's the difference between the two collections?
The woven collection is a woven intertwined of patent leather and leather. And by the way, my handbags are all real leather. That was important to me too. I wanted people to really get high quality, nice leather. You can tell how plush it is. We are going to be doing a lower price line of, you know what I'm trying to say there.
A little more frugal.
Yes,
there you go.
with some different materials, because even for some people, they still even said, you know, $239 for this was still expensive for them. So I'm listening to my fans. I'm listening to what people say. You know, I did little details like the feet and stuff like that on there that really you find on sometimes only on some of the designer bags. So I really wanted it to be something that somebody walked in a room, was proud to have on their arm and excited about, and that's why I really think that every woman should have a Gretchen Christine
there
bag.
You go. There's your pitch right there. What did you learn from releasing the first collection to the second one?
Oh my goodness. Definitely learned a lot. We actually debuted on Shop NBC, which to great success. I was very excited about that. And we did so well that we went back into production, and they're sold exclusively on my site. Well, actually, as of today, I am now in the Victor Paul salon, who's my wonderful hairstylist. He has retail in there, and we put the purses in there.
Where can people find those?
If they go to victorpaulsalon.com, they can make an appointment for their hair today, and they can check out the bag. So that was really exciting for me. But they are only available on my site, which is gretchenchristine.com, or in that salon now. So it's been really exciting, because after we did the Shop NBC, we went back into production, and then we're almost completely sold out again. So it's great.
Congratulations.
So, but we're moving on to the next collection, and we're working on that currently.
Wow. And what has been the best compliment people have sent you via text or via Twitter or email or whatever it may be about the bags?
I get a lot of great responses from the bags, but today it was funny. On the way up here, I got an article in InStyle.com, and they talked very highly about me and the handbags, and it was very exciting. It was kind of one of my prouder moments, because I was like, you know what, when you're in style, you know, being talked about, and they're saying, you know, Gretchen's on her way. It was very exciting. I was very proud. It was a very proud moment. I mean, this has been a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat and tears, and I'm really proud of it.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I did this series of stories, I guess you could say, about young entrepreneurs coming up, and it was called From the Ground Up. And I think what was so compelling about every interview that I did was that these people, you know, spend their lives trying to put their product out there. So what is it that is so important about being an entrepreneur now? I mean, you were a reality star, and then you put your cosmetic line out there, you put your purses out there. What is it about entrepreneurship that is so important, especially in today's state of economy?
Well, you know, it's interesting, because I came from a family of entrepreneurship. My father was an entrepreneur, and my mother was right alongside helping build the brand and the company, and so I was raised in that environment. And right out of school, I was, you know, working for somebody else, and I realized very quickly I didn't like that. I really wanted to be my own boss, and I ended up getting to the real estate industry, and I loved that, and I did really well for a while. Unfortunately, Jeff got sick, and I moved away from that industry. And after Jeff passed away, I really realized I wanted to get back on my feet, but I wanted to do it in an area that I was too scared to try before. Honestly, that's really what it came down to. I was a little bit scared, and so because I didn't want to fail, and I think that's what a lot of people get scared of, is they don't want to fail. So I decided to go for it, and I did. And the thing that I did have working to my benefit is, you know, a lot of people spend close to 30%, sometimes 50% of their money in advertising, and I have built-in advertising being on a reality show. So, and it's not even about, it was really about them just following my story, you know, so that worked out to my benefit.
I noticed that on Marky Costello's website, she was teaching you how to do the hosting thing, or
Yes.
more of, you know, being able to be in front of a camera and
Yes.
sell your product.
Yes.
That was so cool to me because, again, you are dabbling in all these different parts of your life. You know,
Yes.
from being an entrepreneur to being a reality star to dropping singles. Now you're a singer.
Now I'm a singer.
Now you're a singer too. So what did Marky teach you?
Oh my gosh, Marky's one of the best in the business, and she is tough. I mean, I'm telling you,
I haven't gone to one of her.
You should go. You should go. You should go to one of her things. She's really good. And what I like about her is she doesn't BS you. Like, she just tells you exactly, like, okay, that sucked. Like, you were horrible, right? And so, but that makes you better. And that's the thing. I don't need anybody to butter me up. I want somebody to really challenge me and say, you need to work on this, or you need to be better in this environment or this area. And I had one, like, going on Shop NBC, you are live. And it's like D-Day. Like, either you're going to do it or you're not. So I knew I needed somebody that was tough, and that's why I went to her. And I had actually been doing a lot of hosting gigs before I even started going to her. And she helped me so much and to be so much more comfortable in front of the camera. Really? And hosting is definitely something that I really want to pursue and really want to do because I've enjoyed it so much.
Look at you.
Yeah, just keep adding to the list, right?
The list. Check, I'm the host. I'm the next Oprah, right?
Exactly. See?
What did, I guess I'm just more interested about Marky. Like, what is one thing when you walked away from there that you're like, oh, I didn't know that about, you know, myself?
I think I didn't know, I think I got in the way of myself. I think I was afraid of failing. I think that was a huge thing that she taught me.
Common trend in your life?
Yeah, I think it was really, and I think I actually had a segment with Slade the other night, you know, laying on the couch talking about stuff. And I think I realized that my parents, as much as they were amazing, wonderful parents, they really always taught me to be the best at everything. Like, okay, that was really good, but look, you could do it even better. And so it's been actually a wonderful tool for my life because it's made me you know, challenge myself in every area, and it's made me try to be the best at everything that I've done. However, sometimes it can be a detriment because sometimes you get in the way of yourself, and sometimes you get afraid to do something because if you think that you might fail at something, you might not try and do it. And I've learned that sometimes failure is just, you know, the universe closing one door so that you can be successful at something else.
That's powerful because it's true. If you were in the back of your head, like, if I'm not going to be perfect, then why even try to be it at all?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes I struggle with that. Sometimes I definitely do. But, you know, it's a day-by-day thing, and it's a, you know, taking baby steps, if you will, and just teaching myself that I can do it and really believing in yourself. And I think that's the one thing, if any piece of advice I can give to young entrepreneurs or even entrepreneurs that are older that want to start going after their dreams. It's like the first step is to say, I can do it, and go for it.
How did you just go for it when you got the mic in your hand and started singing? Walk me through that experience.
Oh my gosh, seriously.
How did you just belt out the first note?
Is that not crazy? Okay, so this is an interesting story, but I've actually always been a writer my whole life. I love to write, and I have a whole book of songs that I've written my whole life.
You're going to be an author.
Oh, you're so cute. And so I ended up purchasing a music catalog. And in that process, I got to know a lot of people in the music industry. One of them was a producer, and he actually, his name's Brian Todd, and he actually, you know, we started talking about some lyrics. Slade knew the song that I had written about Jeff after he passed away called Nothing Without You, and he wanted me to show him to Brian. So I ended up showing it to him. We had a demo singer sing the song. I'm in the studio with him, and I'm like, something just doesn't sound right about the song. There's something missing, like there's a sweetness, and I start singing the song. And both Brian and Slade look at each other and they're like, why the hell aren't you singing the song, you know? And it was kind of one of those aha moments. And after about 2 glasses of champagne, next thing you know, I'm in front of the mic singing the song. So if you actually go to iTunes and hear the song, you can actually, because it's not auto-tune, you can actually hear a little bit of the, you know, okay, whoa, you know? And it's, but I told Brian, I was like, you know what? If anybody comes and asks me to sing this live, I want it to be me. I don't want it to be auto-tuned. So that was really important to me when singing the song as well. That was my first song. The second song is Revelation. It's more of a club song. Revelation club song. All right, speaking of all these great things that you're doing, congratulations on everything. Thank you. We got to wrap up here. All right. But you can go ahead and I don't know, do you have your Twitter account? Where can people follow you? Yeah, my Twitter is Gretchen Rossi, and my Facebook is Gretchen Rossi. It's facebook.com/Gretchen Rossi, and then of course my website, GretchenChristine.com. All right, go follow Gretchen Christine, purchase one of her bags, purchase some of the makeup you have inside, and you'll look just like her. Beautiful. All right, see you guys next week.
Since 1929, the USC School of Cinematic Arts has fueled and mirrored the growth of entertainment as an industry and an art form. The school offers comprehensive programs in animation and digital arts, critical studies, directing, producing, interactive media, production, and writing, all backed by a broad liberal arts education in each field.
CU at USC is brought to you by the University of Southern California's School of Cinematic Arts.